Good evening, black people and all allies fighting for black liberation, black prosperity, and black joy. I'm Charles Blow, and welcome to Prime. Breaking tonight, you are looking live at the Senate floor where we are awaiting a key vote on whether we will see a bipartisan commission to investigate the insurrection of January 6th. That attack on the Capitol by supporters of Donald Trump, always underline that and remember that, resulted in 5 people dead and more than 140 police officers injured. But Republicans are poised to defeat this call for a commission. For reference, the 2012 Benghazi attack resulted in 4 American deaths. All tragic, but 4 American deaths. And that wasn't an attack on the Capitol. That was an attack on a U.S. embassy. And that wasn't in D.C. That was halfway around the world. Republicans spent $7 million on a Benghazi select committee that held 33 hearings on the attack. The grieving mother of one of the Capitol police officers who was killed, Brian Sicknick, and other officers injured that day pressed GOP senators today at the Capitol to vote in support of the commission, but their pleas will likely go unanswered. Democratic Senator Jon Tester is warning that he believes there will be a future January 6th style attack on the Capitol and, quote, the outcome is going to be far worse. A new poll seems to suggest that he just might be right. The poll analyzed support for QAnon. This is the conspiracy theory that started on the internet in late 2017 and gained momentum under Trump. The poll found that 15% of Americans overall and 23% of Republicans now say they agree with this QAnon conspiracy. Now listen to this. The government, media, and financial worlds in the U.S. are controlled by a group of, yes, I'm not making this up, Satan-worshiping pedophiles who run a global sex trafficking operation. 15% of Americans and 23% of Republicans agree with this statement. Because things have gotten so far off track, true American patriots may have to resort to violence in order to save our country. For the record, 15% of the adults in this country would be 30 million people. All of this is coming on the same day that former Speaker of the House and Vice Presidential nominee Paul Ryan, who left office in 2019 after clashing with Trump, is coming out tonight to call his party to reject Trump and all other, quote, second-rate imitations. Listen, Paul Ryan is no hero. This is the same Paul Ryan who right now, tonight, sits on the board of Fox News, which is one of the biggest boosters of Donald Trump. Earlier today, I got a chance to speak with Democratic Senator Ben Cardin of Maryland to get his take on today's events. Take a listen. Senator Cardin, thank you so much for joining me today. By the time this airs tonight, there will likely have already been a vote on the January 6th commission, whether or not to establish it. And it looks like right now that that bill will not get enough votes to pass. There will not be enough Republican defections to the Democratic side to pass it. What does this mean for the future of an investigation to investigate what happened during the insurrection?
Well, Charles, first, it's good to be with you. It's just can't explain why the Republicans are resisting this independent commission that would give the American people an explanation of what happened on January 6th when the Capitol, we saw an insurrection, and give them confidence that we have an independent evaluation as to how we can take steps to make sure this never happens again. It is just hard to understand. For the sake of our democracy, for the sake of the security of our Capitol, for the sake of those who were victimized on January 6th, to the Capitol Police and all those who defended the Capitol, it just makes no sense whatsoever that the Republicans would resist an independent review of those events.
So if it fails, would Democrats move to set up a review anyway that wouldn't be bipartisan and independent?
Well, I think we do have the authority to set up the commission on our own, which I expect that the Speaker Pelosi and Senator Schumer can proceed with it, and it will be an independent commission, and they can do it pretty much in the same way. However, it is just unfortunate that we don't have the stamp of approval by an act of Congress, as we did after the attack on our nation on September the 11th, as we've done on so many other occasions, where the country wanted us to come together as one nation to deal with the crisis.
You said on CNN that it is absolutely time for us to change the filibuster rules, this being one of the reasons. Do you think that the Democrats would even have the votes to do that? Are people like Joe Manchin going to stand in the way of that even happening?
Well, that I don't think yet we have the unanimity of our caucus on changing the Senate procedures. I think we're moving in that direction. I do think the obstructionists of the Republicans on not only requiring a 60-vote threshold for important fundamental issues, such as this commission, such as the For the People voting rights in this country. Nothing's more fundamental than voting rights. It should be by majority vote. There should not be a filibuster need. But also the inability to be able to move legislation because of individual senators' objections. I think it is well past time that we reform the Senate rules.
Do you worry at all that this bill, if it should fail, as people expect that it will, is a harbinger for the rest of the Biden administration's agenda? There are a lot of big initiatives, things with big price tags that are also going to need Republican support to pass on the current rules. It is not, as you just said, it is not clear that you would even have the rules to change, have the votes to change the rules. What does this portend for the rest of the Biden administration's agenda?
So, Charles, let me be clear. We're going to do everything we can to work with Republicans to get things done. I was proud of the work we did this week in the Environment and Public Works Committee, where I chair the subcommittee on transportation and infrastructure. We were able to get a major transportation infrastructure bill through our committee with a 24-0 vote. So we're going to continue to work across party line to get things done. But let me make it clear. We have to find ways to move issues to resolution, whether it's the independent commission resulting from the January 6th assault, whether it's protecting the voting rights in this country on we the people, whether it's to deal with the senseless gun violence that we've seen in our community with gun safety legislation, or whether it's to fix an immigration system that desperately needs congressional action. We have to act on these issues. So, yes, I hope we can do it through working with Republicans in a bipartisan manner, because I think we'll have stronger bills that will last, stand the test of time, won't be changed. But if we can't, then we're going to have to find other ways to move these bills.
But you know, I hate to frame this in the framing of war, but I'm just going to do that anyway. Don't you feel like you're fighting an asymmetric battle here? You know, when the Republicans were in control, we needed things passed that would just help the country. Democrats came over and helped to vote for those things. That is not the Republican position. They are not going to act like you behaved. Their position is to obstruct you at every turn that might hurt them in the next election and might help you. It seems odd to me that Democrats keep talking in the language of we are going to do everything we can to work with the Republicans, when that is not their position, and everybody looking at it understands that's not their position. They have no desire to work with you and help you out in any way.
But Charles, I agree with you that the Republicans have used the procedures of the United States Senate in a way that's a total abuse. It's an abuse of power. It's not responding to our national issues. We need to change the Senate procedures in order to deal with the realities of where we are today on the misuse of our process. Having said that, I still believe we're better off when we can come together in a bipartisan way to deal with these issues.
So let's say that we were able to change the Senate rules. Do you worry that that would, everything has a pro and a con. When the Republicans are back in control of the Senate, is that a dangerous thing to have done?
Now, look, I think elections have consequences, and I think we have to recognize that. So, no, I'm not worried about majority rule system. I think that's what democracies are about. And we've seen that the Republicans are very prepared to change the rules when it's convenient for them, as they did with the Supreme Court nomination. So, no, I'm not concerned that it'll be turned on us. I think democracy is majority rule. Elections have consequences. I think we have to take that message to the voters of this country. That's why we need to pass For the People Act to protect the voting rights of all Americans.
But Senator, as you know, the Senate is not built on majority rule at all. It doesn't even take into account populations. It is strictly broken down by geography. Alaska has 2 senators. Brooklyn has more people in it than Alaska, but they don't have 2 senators. The Senate is not about majority of Americans rule. It is about the majority of the geography ruling. And what the geographic trends tell us is that we're moving towards a moment, a couple of decades out, where 70% of the population will have 30 senators, and 30% of the population will have 70 senators. And once you have removed the ability for the minority of senators to have a say, does that not worry you at all?
Well, I think our Constitution has served us well. Our federalism system has served us well over the years. So I have confidence in our Constitution. I do believe we have to protect the right of voters. And For the People Act deals with congressional reapportionment also, because I do think it's very important that the House of Representatives be apportioned fairly and not in such a partisan, gerrymandered way. As far as the Senate is concerned, it has served us well. I recognize that the population issue works against my interest at times. I also believe that we have to correct the inequity for the people of the District of Columbia. They should a long time ago have had a full representation in both the Senate and the House. So the things that we can do, I think, to make the Senate fairer, but I respect our Constitution. I understand the federalism system. What I am suggesting, though, is that the procedures of the Senate that have all of a sudden raised it to a 60-vote threshold to pass legislation was never envisioned in the Constitution of the United States.
Do you think that President Biden should come out forcefully in favor of changing the Senate rules and getting rid of this filibuster, or changing it dramatically in some way? That is not something he's done.
So I'm going to be a stickler for the separation of powers. I think that's an issue for the Congress. I do think the American people should speak out, though. I think this is an issue that affects them, and they should speak out. I think the president's entitled to have his views, but this is a matter that's got to be resolved in the Senate.
Senator Cardin, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. We look forward to seeing what comes of this vote.
Yeah, Charles, it's really good to be on your show. And again, thank you for your passion on this issue.
Thank you so much, sir. We are still waiting for the Senate to vote on this measure. If we get any updates during the show, we'll bring them to you live.